Welcome back, pop culture historians and television enthusiasts. Today, we are undertaking an exhaustive, comprehensive structural autopsy of a television milestone, Friends Season 1. To truly appreciate this compilation of legendary clips, we have to travel back to the media landscape of September 1994. Before this show arrived, sitcoms were traditionally built around nuclear families, workplaces, or single central protagonists. The concept of an evenly distributed ensemble cast navigating the aimless, liminal space of their mid-20s was a massive gamble. The masterclass begins in the pilot episode, throwing us directly into the emotional wreckage of Ross Geller. Sitting in the iconic Central Perk, Ross is paralyzed by existential dread. His wife, Carol, has stripped the apartment clean after discovering her true sexual identity. It is raw, authentic heartbreak. But notice how the narrative immediately establishes its defense mechanism. The group doesn't just coddle him, they weaponize comedy to pull him out of the abyss. Phoebe attempts to cleanse his fractured aura with eccentric spirituality. Joey aggressively pushes the primal therapy of a stripped joint. And Chandler blankets the entire room in a protective layer of defensive sarcasm. This opening sequence beautifully illustrates the show's core psychological premise. The collective unit acts as an emotional shock absorber for the harsh realities of early adulthood. Just as Ross vocalizes his desperate desire to be married again, the universe executes a perfect comedic interception. Rachel Green barges through the doors in a soaking wet, extravagant wedding dress, having just abandoned her affluent fiancé, Barry, at the altar. What follows is arguably one of the most brilliant and enduring extended metaphors in the history of television writing. On the payphone with her tyrannical, wealthy father, Rachel attempts to articulate her sudden existential awakening. She states, "All my life, everyone has always told me, you're a shoe, you're a shoe, you're a shoe." And then today I just stopped and I said, what if I don't want to be a shoe? What if I want to be a purse or a hat? This is the definitive catalyst for Rachel's entire 10-year character arc. She isn't merely a spoiled, superficial runaway. She is an individual actively choosing financial vulnerability over suffocating security. The subsequent scene where the gang surrounds her and systematically destroys her father's credit cards plays out like a tribal initiation ritual. It culminates in Monica Geller delivering the definitive, generational thesis statement. Welcome to the real world. It sucks. You're gonna love it. Watching Rachel mismanage orders and struggle as a hopelessly incompetent waitress at Central Perk isn't just cheap slapstick. It's a profound, highly relatable depiction of the painful, unglamorous process of rebuilding your identity from absolute scratch. As Season 1 hits its stride, the writers shift away from heavy exposition and focus entirely on tuning the internal mechanics of the group's chemistry. This brings us to the legendary episode centered around Chandler Bing's hidden smoking addiction. When the group corners him for his unhealthy vice, Chandler pulls off a masterful psychological deflection. He weaponizes the group's own deep-seated insecurities against them, triggering an escalating domino effect of exposed flaws. Within minutes, the harmonious illusion of the group is hilariously shattered. We discover Joey Tribbiani's incessant, maddening knuckle-cracking, Monica's hyper-aggressive, involuntary snort when she laughs, Ross's rigid, overly precise pronunciation of every single syllable, and Phoebe's bizarre, self-soothing habit of chewing her own hair. This writing is brilliant because it humanizes the characters. They aren't perfect archetypes. They are flawed, slightly annoying individuals who choose to tolerate each other's neuroses. This brings us to the famous George Stephanopoulos pizza incident. A simple logistical error by a delivery boy morphs into a full-scale covert surveillance mission on the apartment balcony. Armed with binoculars, Rachel, Monica, and Phoebe become completely consumed by tracking the romantic movements of the White House advisor across the street. This entire sequence represents the pinnacle of bottle episode storytelling. It proves that Friends never needed high-octane plots or massive external stakes to captivate an audience. The sheer kinetic energy of three people sharing a pizza box, drinking wine, and gossiping on a balcony was more than enough to create unforgettable television.